Hey guys, hope everybody's doing good. I know it's been a while since I made a video. Been busy. Was sick for a while. Went racing last night up in Michigan. So it's been kind of busy, and I haven't had a whole lot going on. I didn't want to make videos just to make videos. But I did have. There's a list I made a while back of videos I wanted to make, and this was one of the things I wanted to talk about. And hopefully this isn't something that kind of pisses people off. That's not what it's meant for, but I think it's probably more so meant to help people that don't know or maybe are kind of new. Some of it's basically I would just talk about some of the things to try to avoid doing at the track. Some of it is common sense, some we all know, but it's just certain things that I've seen over the years. That happen or that people do, and not everybody wants to say something to somebody at the track. Don't do this, don't do that. You don't want to seem like that guy, so you kind of just and you move on. But maybe in a video people watch it'd be like, oh, I do that, maybe I shouldn't do that. So and I'm not trying to seem like Mr. High and Mighty, like I don't know anything wrong, because I do plenty wrong. So but I made a list here, just some things. One of the things is if you can't make your heat, or you're not going to make the main, and you know it in advance, obviously you're still wrenching or you just can't get your stuff right, let the race director know, or send one of your buddies to let them know, so they're not calling your name and waiting. I mean, a lot of times the race directors, they don't like to see somebody miss their race, so they're calling, they're trying to hold off and hold up the show. If you're not going to make it, go ahead and let them know. Or if you need a minute and they can do that for you, then let them know you'll be up, in a minute or so. Don't just sit there and not do anything and not let anybody know. So another thing that happens quite a bit, it's in practice, and I know it's pretty irritating for a lot of people. Guys will actually stand on the track and drive their cars around. I don't know why you would want to do that in the first place, because it's definitely a whole different perspective that you're not going to be using, obviously, during a heat or a race. But if you're running your car on the track, go on the driver's stand and drive your car like everybody else is doing. It's pretty distracting when someone's out there walking around the track driving their car like they're at the skate park or something. So definitely avoid that. Something else you want to stay away from is really anytime during practice, a heat race, a main. Don't stop your car in the race line. A lot of times in hot laps or in practice, somebody will stop their car to adjust their brakes or their EPA, whatever they want to do, and they'll park it right, even on the edge of the race line is not good. Sometimes guys blow the corner, go a little wide, or there's traffic, and it ends up getting you broke or them broke. So if you need to do something, pull well off. Or if it's a track that also runs nitro, just pull up in the pit lane and make your adjustments, and then continue on. And another thing I noticed too is a lot of guys will come to the track, and it's cool to have fun. Everybody wants to have fun, but you'll have a group of guys that are there just bashing their slashes or whatever, bouncing off the walls, jumping tubes, and don't get me wrong, it's cool to have fun and everything, but some guys are there to race and they're pretty serious. And I understand it's toy cars, but it's pretty serious for a lot of people. I guess you spend this much money and stuff, we're pretty serious. So go ahead and have fun and do that stuff, but be considerate of the guys that are there to actually race. I mean, if you're jumping your 4x4 slash off the triple, landing on the straightaway, going the wrong way, and your truck gets blown up, I mean, that's going to happen. It's going to damage your stuff. It's going to damage their stuff. So bash and have fun, but when there's guys out there trying to get ready for competition, just be considerate of that. Another thing too that happens quite a bit that I see is you'll be running your heat, either way, for most of the stuff, practice, heat race, main, whatever, guys will lean forward over the rail. Either halftime, I don't know what they're doing, looking at their car or looking for their buddy or trying to talk to their buddy or whatever. But when you do that, the guys to the side of you, they can't see maybe that corner, at the left side front end or right side front, whatever, is closest to you. All of a sudden, they follow their car, and then your head's there. So stay straight up You know, if you need to yell to your pit guy or your buddy or whatever, just stand straight up. They'll recognize your voice. That they'll hear you. Don't lean forward over the rail. Another thing too, and I don't even know if this can be helped because it's not done on purpose. But a lot of guys they'll sway with their car. You know, they're driving and they're moving, they're throwing elbows and they're. If you do that, if you're one of those guys that do that, I understand it's not on purpose. It's just some guys just do it. The only tip I can give you on that is when you go on the stand, have your legs far apart, farther than your shoulders, so you can take up room. So guys' foot can only go up against your foot. So that's going to put guys farther away from you. And then when the race starts, if you want to change your stance, you can, but at least you set that room so you can sway and throw your elbows and do that stuff if that's what you do. But when the guy gets right up against you and all of a sudden you're bouncing off of them and you know you're elbowing them in the ear and stuff, that can get distracting for guys. So just try to give yourself room to be able to sway and bob and weave and whatever you know if that's a habit you have. Another thing pretty obvious here, there's a lot, don't yell at the marshals. I know we all want to, and sometimes the marshaling is absolutely horrible and ridiculous. I mean, I totally get it, but honestly, yelling at that guy, it ain't gonna make a bit of difference. He won't change his ways because he got yelled at. He won't learn a lesson that day because, you know, Bob yelled at me and I'm going to change my ways and I'm gonna start marshaling better. It won't matter. You might as well save your breath and save the awkwardness because it won't change anything. Just try to make note, like, wow. You always, obviously, we don't want to wreck, we want to be careful, but around that guy, definitely keep it clean. Another thing, too, is temper tantrums. It kind of goes with yelling at the marshals. I've had guys stomping, pounding on the rail, going nuts. And again, I know that's hard to control because you get so passionate about it, and so all of us have a temper every now and then, but it ain't gonna change what just happened. If you got broke, you got hit, you got taken out, it ain't gonna change. I mean, I'll let out, oh damn, or something like that, but it's never directed at a person. It's more directed at myself, pretty much. But temper tantrums, whoa, about knocked my phone down, pounding on the rail and stuff like that. It ain't gonna make a bit of difference. Might as well just take a deep breath and move on from it. Another thing too is guys wanting to complain about the track or the track conditions, especially like to the owners or guys. You know, a lot of these guys come and they volunteer to help, and it's, I mean, I've helped guys with tracks and build tracks, and it is not easy. I mean, it is not easy at all. So just realize it's the same track conditions, same track layout for everybody, and it is what it is. You know, find your way around, find your way to navigate it, and realize it's the same for everybody. And you know, a lot of hard work goes into it. If it's not to your exact liking, you just deal with it. Be happy to have a place to race. Another thing too is when you're done racing, again, this is something that's always talked about. Go out and marshal. A lot of guys think that they're gonna grab their car and sneak off into the pits and nobody will know. People know. Just because they're not coming to you and being like, dude, wow, you just don't marshal. Most people, they just shake their head and move on, but they know. They know who these guys are that try to go hide in the back and don't go out and marshal. I mean, just do your part and go do it. I know a lot of new guys will forget, and trust me, everybody at the track will understand that, and it'll become a habit after a while. But also, there's a lot of veterans that feel like, there's enough guys, I'm out of here. Don't be that guy. I'm trying to think. After a heat or a main, I mean, primarily the heat, because everybody finishes at so many different times. When you're done, when they call you done, just pull it way off the racing line or to get out of the way or pull it off. A lot of guys will just keep running full bore laps and wait till everybody else is finished and they keep running, which is fine, and it's usually not a problem, but you might get tangled with that one guy or those two guys that are still on the timer and you were already done. It doesn't make sense. It's not worth it. As soon as you're done, get it out of the way, get it off the track. So not to cause any problems with somebody still on the clock. And then also don't run your, if you're in a main, I mean, there's certain circumstances where I would continue on, but in most circumstances in a main or a heat, if your car is broke, just pull it off. You're not going to TQ. You're not going to have a good run. If it's broke and you're hopping around with one wheel, you know, hopping around, or a shock flopping in the air, it's over. And you might just damage more stuff, or damage someone else's stuff, or hurt someone else's run. So just pull it off. Don't run it broke. And another thing too, a lot of tracks, they don't really do this. It's more, you know, you'll come around to the A main, and it's kind of a mutual understanding. Go up the stand in qualifying, or in order of qualifying, whatever car number you are. If you're a number 4 guy, you know, get in line behind 1, 2, and 3. A lot of guys don't care; it's no big deal. But at least offer it to them. If you're the 4 and you see TQ is behind you in line, be like, hey man, you can go ahead of me. You out qualified me. 9 times out of 10, they'll say, oh man, I don't care. It's all good. Don't matter. But at least offer it. I wish it was just the norm that this was done this way, so it wasn't kind of all awkward, like nobody knows if we're going up in order or not. But at least offer it to the guys that you know out-qualified you if they would like to. Like I said, most time they're like, hey man, don't worry about it. But it's nice to do. So there's a few things. If you guys made it this far in this video, and you think of some stuff that wasn't mentioned, go ahead and add it, because I'm not trying to pick on people. I'm trying to just help everybody, especially new guys that might not realize that, oh, I can't stand on the track and drive my car around, or you know, just certain things to realize that are not necessarily written, but kind of known by people that have raced for a long time. So sorry guys, I kind of rambled there. That video went longer than I'd planned. If you made it this far, I appreciate it. So I'm no pro. That's just some thoughts that I had and thought I'd share with you guys. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks guys.